Hi, everybody. Welcome to the last module of the fall semester. I do want to take a moment to round back. I've graded all of assignment number 2. And one of the common mistakes that I saw, although most of you did very well on the assignment, was that occasionally we forget to align our numerator with our denominator. This is really important with population measures of use. So if I ask you about female discharges for a certain age group, your denominator in that population should always match, right? So it should be females from that particular age group. That overall population should be your denominator. On the last question, which is one that I think I saw the most kind of struggle with on the denominator, was that when we're looking at resident rates for, which really only applies to our elderly population, that denominator also has to just focus on the elderly population, because you're not going to have a 30 or 40 something looking at long-term care residency. So that is my only feedback from the last assignment. Again, overall, everybody did really well. If you do have any questions based on your scores or on the feedback, please don't hesitate to reach out. The next 2 weeks are going to focus on institutional measures of use. So as administrators, we usually use this hand in hand with population measures of use. We want to understand 4 different age cohorts and 4 different kind of disease categories. Basically, what are those discharge rates? What are those patient day rates? And then as we look towards the population trends, Cornell has a great website called PAD, Population Applied Demographics, which we'll be using in managerial epidemiology. If you go to that website, you can see pretty accurate population projections for New York State broken down by county. And so we can use those population trends in combination with those population measures of use to kind of get a good understanding of demand. It's basically a forecast model for us. And so when we look at institutional measures of use, so average daily census, occupancy rates, and turnover, we can have some sort of understanding about what might be happening in the future based on those population measures of use and what our anticipated future demand looks like. Now, that is very important as we look to making strategic decisions for the organization in terms of allocation of resources, in terms of marketing, in terms of new partnerships and potential mergers and acquisitions. So we're not going to get into all of that, but we're basically just laying the groundwork for it. These are the major calculations we need to be comfortable with in order to start those conversations. I started meeting with a number of you in terms of your final research projects. If you haven't set up a time to meet with me yet, please do so in the next week or two. And again, we've got a lot of time built into the remainder of the schedule to focus on that research project. And there will also be, if you haven't looked, there is a 3-minute basic presentation in which I'm looking for you to take the work that you've done, the research that you've done, and basically set the stage for why is this important, why should we care, and what does the data tell us, and where are we going, right? That is really challenging. It's basically your elevator pitch for your research and for your work, which is a super valuable skill. And as you'll see in a number of your other MBA HSA classes, we're trying to kind of reinforce some of these skill sets across the board, which I'm going to try to do in this video as well. So hopefully it hasn't been 3 minutes yet, but as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. Talk to you soon.